Vulnerability, it's a word that often evokes discomfort, a sense of unease that makes us want to turn away. We associate it with weakness, with exposure, and with the fear of being judged. But vulnerability, in its truest form, is courage. It's the bravery to face our deepest fears and insecurities. It's the willingness to show up authentically, to embrace our imperfections, and to connect with others from a place of shared humanity. This authenticity fosters genuine relationships. In a world that often celebrates perfection and pushes us to hide our struggles, vulnerability is an act of rebellion. It challenges the status quo. It's a statement that says, I am human with flaws and fears, and that's okay. It's a declaration of self-acceptance. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we open ourselves up to connection, compassion, and growth. We create spaces where others feel safe to be themselves. We give others permission to do the same, fostering a community of understanding and empathy. This is the story of Raju, a man who, like so many of us, struggled silently beneath the weight of societal expectations, afraid to reveal the cracks in his carefully constructed facade. He feared judgment and rejection. This is a story about the power of vulnerability to heal and to set us free. It's about finding strength in our shared humanity and realizing that we are not alone in our struggles. Raju, a bright young man from a small village in India, always excelled in school. He was the son every parent dreamed of, intelligent, hard-working, and driven. His teachers praised his dedication, and his family pinned their hopes and dreams on his success. Fueled by a desire to honor his family and escape the limitations of his small town, Raju poured himself into his studies. He earned a coveted spot at a prestigious university in a bustling city, far from the familiar comfort of his village. Mr. Raju. The pressure to succeed mounted. I was no longer simply Raju, the bright boy from the village. I carried the weight of my family's sacrifices, their aspirations woven into the fabric of my being. I excelled in my classes, but behind my accomplishments, a silent struggle began to take root. Our minds are powerful tools capable of shaping our entire existence. The beliefs we hold about ourselves, the narratives we create in our minds about what we can and can't do, shape our reality and influence our actions. Take Raju, for instance. Raised on a steady diet of expectations and the constant pressure to achieve, he internalized the belief that he had to be perfect to be worthy of love and acceptance. This can-do attitude, while seemingly positive, can become a double-edged sword cutting both ways. It can fuel ambition and drive, pushing us to reach new heights, but it can also lead to an unhealthy fear of failure, a paralyzing anxiety that stifles growth, an inability to acknowledge limitations, and a refusal to accept that we are not invincible. This mindset fosters a reluctance to seek help when needed, a dangerous isolation. Raju, trapped in the cycle of striving and achieving, never learned to embrace his imperfections, to see them as part of his unique human experience. He never learned that it's okay to say, I can't or I need help, that vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. The fear of disappointing those around him, of shattering the image of the perfect son, kept him shackled to his relentless pursuit of achievement, never allowing himself to rest or reflect. In the end, the can and can't divide is not just about capability, but about understanding and accepting our own humanity. In our relentless pursuit of success and achievement, we often neglect the most important aspect of our being, our mental health. We chase goals, deadlines, and dreams, often at the expense of our well-being. We push ourselves to our limits, ignoring the warning signs, silencing the whispers of our weary souls. The constant pressure to perform and excel takes a toll. Raju, consumed by his studies and the pressure to succeed, found himself on a similar path. The weight of expectations bore down on him. Mr. Raju, the once bright spark in my eyes began to dim, replaced by a pervasive sense of anxiety and dread, replaced by a pervasive sense of anxiety. The constant worry gnawed at my peace of mind. Sleep, once a refuge, became elusive, my nights plagued by worries and doubts. The comfort of rest was replaced by restless tossing and turning, my nights plagued by worries and doubts. I withdrew from friends, isolating myself in a bubble of self-imposed pressure. Social interactions became a source of anxiety, isolating myself in a bubble of self-imposed pressure. The weight of my unspoken struggles began to manifest physically, affecting my daily life. The weight of my unspoken struggles began to manifest physically. I felt a constant heaviness on my shoulders, a burden I couldn't shake off. I suffered from frequent headaches, my mind constantly racing with thoughts I couldn't control, my stomach constantly in knots. The physical discomfort was a daily reminder of my internal battles. What started as whispers of anxiety morphed into the deafening roar of panic attacks. Each episode left me feeling more helpless and lost. I, once a beacon of hope and promise, was drowning in a sea of silent suffering. The light within me was fading, was drowning in a sea of silent suffering. The struggle was invisible to the world, but it was all-consuming for me.